and in the discursive space of translation. I'm just seeing how the time is going, because I also wanted to go to something more particular and show you some pieces of a DVD and move away from theory, although I've also discovered the term another meaning, or an earlier meaning to the word theory that I should have known as a Greek than the one I learned in English, and that is theoria. And I realized that theoria is a vision. It's of the divine, a kind of divine vision. And it's related to pilgrimages in antiquity, and the idea of theoros, going on a pilgrimage. And going there either to a temple or to hear an oracle, and coming back with a message. So it's another way of theorizing translation, is seeing translation in theory as a kind of pilgrimage to somewhere and bringing something back. And ironically enough, I came across the term theoria through the term, the Sanskrit term, darshan, which has the same root, because theoria is also to be seen, is seeing the vision in its root. And also the word in Sanskrit, darshan, which has the root dust, is also to see. But, and I learned that during my time in Guyana, on a Guyanese sugar plantation, which when I went there, although I was teaching literature, I realized there was a rich oral culture. And I got involved with the rural cultures of Indian coolies, and that's what led to my book, Translating Pali's Feast. And one of the things that I was told was that in this pilgrimage that you're making to the temple, the idea is it's for the goddess to see you. You don't necessarily see the goddess, but she sees you. And it's this point of being seen that is a point of transformation. I mean, there's certain things you can do to be seen, but you don't know when it's going to happen. And there was an interesting paper this morning about the development and about Afro-Brazilian religions and the notion of trance, and also in this respect my involvement in this idea of darshan and in these rural religions, which are also healing religions, if you like. They're healing rituals that also deal with ways of seeing, but also ways of being transformed. But before I talk a bit more about that, let me just show you a little video clip. This is, the interview I videoed myself, but it was a bit rough, and I've taken stuff from the Guyana Film Archives. And it's about the story of Indian coolies in Guyana being seen by the goddess and what happens when it's being seen by the goddess. And then from that, I'll carry on talking and link it up to translation, trans, and transculturation. It's the bottom one, if I remember correctly.
Kali Ankali Mankali Drobadi Parvati Parimayam Jaya. Alanga, India. These people bring the book and they come from India.
Yeah.
And when they came in there, then they said they come as bomb. So when they came to bomb, they worked 6 days per week, and maybe 2 months after, one of the child sick.
Yeah.
And no doctor cannot cure him. So then when they don't work Sunday, everyone go to the river bank and they chant the name of the mother. Chanting the name, then they pray to the mother Ganga. Ma padam pada Ganga yama taye Odewa ye nama Ganga yama taye. O divine mother Ganga, well, an Indian come so far and we come in a different country and we have problem. Do you please come and receive our prayer and shower your blessing and bless you? Amma padam padam Ganga yama taye Odewa ye nama Ganga yama taye. Oh, Mother Ganga, come, we have problem. Then Mother Ganga came and one of the guru started to read the mantra from the Mali mentality, and then one of them got vibration. Mother came from them, and then out of them bowed around, oh divine mother, can you tell me what's wrong? He said, the child, you all forget me when you came from India. You forget me, you don't want to do my puja. So I make this child sick. Go to a clean place where you see plenty cattle sick, and make me temple there, and pray for Mother Kali, get a bucket water with dye, neem flowers, and bathe this child. And all the sick will come. So they do, and so they done. And then they say from day on, they will do Mother Puja from that time. So Puja comes to
this country. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I was interested in the paper this morning about trance because in my in also investigation of what happened in the history in Guyana, there was similar attitudes in the relationship as, you know, the trance being some kind of madness, and then eventually it was seen as a kind of divine madness, actually healing, and you had psychiatrists engaging both locally and from North America into traditional healing. And in fact, this particular pujari that died in the early 90s was involved in going back and forth to North American traditional healing centers. I'm talking in universities, but I think beyond that, what's interested me, because it's still, even that engagement still explained it in terms of, in the terminology of Western psychiatry, was understanding its own language, and this is why I've called it translating Kali's feast, because I saw it as its own kind of transformative cosmopolitanism, and their own process of self-transformation in the tradition itself. I mean, I think what was interesting in the interventions that came from Western psychiatry was that it gave it a kind of validation marker, and the fact they were very humble. It was suddenly that there was all these scientists taking interest in them. But I think it's gone beyond that now, and there is a self-confidence in the culture itself and understands itself in its own idiom. And I think it was in my early engagement that I felt this in the way that they negotiated the meaning of the culture itself, that the narrative that I was told, and this was probably a kind of Napoleon kind of elitist cosmopolitanism, in that he rejected this whole tradition. In fact, he refers to the Kali tradition in one of his books called Finding